Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I would like to acknowledge all of you. I may not know the titles that you hold, but please bear in your heart that all protocol observed. I would also like to acknowledge the favor of being given an opportunity to speak today. It is something I have not done in a long time. If I meander too much, please, program director, give me a signal. But I must say that it is with special gratitude when you see men and women gathered around the tables in an occasion well designed like this one, and more importantly coming in to celebrate the achievements and the efforts of one of them. Mr. Mb Tshabangu, I've met him in a very interesting way, I must say. As a lawyer, he was in the company of his client when I was still a Director General of Public Enterprises. And in a very mysterious way, in dealing with the matter, we ended up knowing each other, and we grew to become close friends, to become brothers, and to a greater extent, I must say, the path of life, you must never, ever, ever underestimate the power of the universe itself. You meet people in life, and you just dismiss them because it's business. But if you pay much more time and attention, you might actually realize that there's greater good you could share with those people. So I must say, the time I have spent knowing him has been an exciting time. Exciting in a sense that in him I found a brother. When I say brother, I mean I found a long-lost family. You might have a lot of families somewhere, and you don't know they are around. I think it's important, if you pay particular attention, when you meet those people, you realize that it looks like we were born together, man. Something wrong happened. And particularly because you realize that you share a lot of things. You share, meaning your feelings about life and people are similar. Your approach to everyday life, your demeanor, your attitude, there is parallels that are very similar. But let me go to things that I want to talk about. I think one thing key I must start off with, not so long ago, he had invited me to his wedding after I've known his wife for a while. And I must say that he did a great choice, because I've seen a lot of humor and support in his wife. And then when he officially took her as his wife, I was very pleased in my heart, because I have also been married for 15 years, and I've enjoyed the fruits of having a wife in your life. A message to him is that when God said a wife is a very important support to a person, because it is there in the scriptures, it was not written by mistake. You will know when days are dark, when you've got the biggest problems in your life, that this companion is actually very important in many ways. When days are good, you have a lot of friends. But when days are dark, your better half is the closest person who gives you the strength to face another day. Today, as the theme, is to celebrate 10 years in the business world. We all know, we can see how dark days are for the country with a struggling economy. When you go to malls, you see how many businesses are closing down. When you interact with friends who've been doing well, you realize how difficult it is today. Actually, these are the trying days, the days that had to come. I must say, these are days that will separate real businesses from manufactured businesses. When you manufacture something is when you work it out in a factory and polish it and give it identity. There are many businesses out there that are manufactured. I'm talking about businesses where they say, Mchana, there's an opportunity here. Go and create an outfit. We give you this opportunity. It's a tender or whatever it is. And then you run the business. It is the good time business. When that opportunity ceases to exist, that business is closed down. But there are businesses that are created through an idea where you see an opportunity, you go out of your way to script it down, you take the last cent or the last rent where you have to choose between deploying this money elsewhere, and then you go and make relationships with people to make sure that that business finds it fits, it works in the hardy streets, and it finds its identity, it employs people, and you go through the struggle of looking at your income versus your income statement and worry where the salaries are going to come from at the end of the month because of the people you carry. That is the difficulty of running a business. It teaches you the difficulty of knowing that even if you have plenty in your account, you rather save it because you do not want to compromise the salaries of people you have until the end of the financial year. When you have a positive income statement, other people would think it's a success, but you are much, much more worried that you don't know what might happen in the economy in the next 12 months. So that money, you cannot even call it your own money. If a man has worked in a business environment for 10 years, it means he has experienced these difficulties. Many, through excitement, may have bought Range Rovers, gone to holidays overseas, because there was a 6-digit zeros in the bank account. The minute you hit $1 million, it creates a lot of excitement. You start to hear the accent changes when people talk. Yeah, when you need to meet a brother, he tells you, no man, you know the brother stays in Pretoria, but for you to see him, you must meet at the Hilton in Johannesburg, Sandton. Shops overseas. We see these things every day. It's a business that is connected to a political term or a political personality. But on the hindsight, we're not celebrating him for the sake of celebrating. We celebrate him because he has endured all this at a very youthful age. He has not hit a 40-year mark. what normally worries me the most, because I have gray hair, it means there's an old man living inside of me. I may have seen even things beyond my life. So when people sometimes achieve a lot in early in life, sometimes some of them, they live their life far ahead, which means it is also a point of concern. And let me also outline it in two different ways. It creates a psychological risk, but at the same time, it creates powerful enemies that the age might not even live up to face. Powerful enemies are people who, because in business, there's a contest for space. And others do not live to accept that reality, that it is through creativity and innovation that you will sustain the contest. They create other difficult paths. They can even invest in shoddy ways to bring you down. And their strength is your youthful years. They know you are bound to do youthful mistakes. My greatest wish for him is to stay stronger, to be able to grow beyond the youthful mistakes, because they are inherent. Age is part of us. I think the last thing I want to also say is that what I've learned about our culture and being African, there's always two things that I think about. It is a drum and a horn. A horn is always synonymous with war. And a drum is always synonymous with celebration. When we beat the drum, it's either we're celebrating a life that has departed in its transitions to the other life, or during days of difficulty, when we beat the drum, we also summon our ancestors to be with us through a difficult period, or when we celebrate, either it's a wedding or we celebrate whatever. But the horn is also very important because you chastise the future with it. I would talk about it this way, as a symbolic, figuristic metaphor. In short, I am saying, Mb Tshabangu, embrace these two ornaments, both in your heart and in your mind. And as a collective sitting here, with that, I mean, it's important to understand the power of brotherhood. Brotherhood includes even you sisters. Today's world, things are no longer as they used to be. People operate like lions. They hunt in packs. They protect their territories. But the lions eat together also. It means life of today has changed. He became a drum that brought us together here. It's up to us to understand that to gather around a person, it is not just to come and listen and drink wine, but it's also important for us to harness his ability to bring us together and create something out of it. In all ourselves, the things that we do, it will be good for us to embrace and know one another far deeper and utilize him to be able to achieve our ends. On that note, Mr. Tshabangu, we wish you the great future. We wish everyone around this room to play a meaningful role in whatever way possible to sustain you, to embrace and also sustain your dreams. And last thing that I see a lot amongst Africans, it's a seed that has grown. And it's a seed that we must always call a weed. We always celebrate each other's downfall. And we mock each other's successes. That is inconsistent with our being. So I am also trying to say we must use the horn to chase away this evil seed, so that when we are here to celebrate the 10 years of Tshabangu's success, we must rather come and hook on to what he does and grow him bigger where possible. We have leaders that we do not know where they come from. They mushroom and they become billionaires and they are celebrated by the media. But we don't know. We have never seen them start. But we get surprised when they do nothing for us. Because they were never ours in the first place. So when you've got someone whom you can call your own, you have seen the baby steps from the beginning. It's your duty to hook onto that person, never to fall, because he's one of your own. On those few words, Mr. Tshabangu, I must say that also it is still a great honor for me to have spoken. I wish words can also grow like seed. And they must grow, words only grow in our soul and in our hearts. And they should always spread amongst us. And with them there should be health, there should be life, and there should be love. That's the only way to enjoy life. Thank you very much.